Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a game between Liquid Sheth and Everize. It is a TVZ on Tal'Darim altar, and they are spawning cross positions, which is very good because that is the balance positions. Sheth is sending his first overlord to the right because he wants to know if Everize is in this position, as that will change his playstyle greatly. Because if Everize does spawn here, then he has a very easy way to take out this natural around 10 or 11 minutes with a few tanks, marines, and a medevac. Just siege up down here and take out this base. I know he could still do it in cross positions, but while he does it, he has to move out, go across this middle of the map, which opens them up to a lot of flanks. It's wide open. Also, it takes a long time to go from this base all the way to this area, which allows Sheth more time to launch a counterattack or just prepare for it. So we'll see exactly what Sheth does. The common thing for Terrans to do on this map is go for one Rax Expo. Sheth, he's going to have to go for a two base lair most likely because it's very risky to go for a very fast third base on this map just because you can't defend it. There's rocks here, so you can't take this base. There's this base, which medevacs can make your life hell also. It's a long ground distance between your natural and this base, so Hellions can generally do damage over here, and the same thing goes for this base. Just have to worry about Hellions, not really so much medevacs. However, if your Lings do come, they can drop on this one high ground, or even put a tank on this high ground and hit the natural, or not natural, the third base. So very hard to take a third base early on as a Zerg player, so many Zergs go for a two base lair, which kinda is against what the meta is. They don't really like two-base layer anymore, which I believe is why Zergs don't really pick this map in tournaments. I think this is one of the most vetoed maps in the NESL. It actually has a 50% win rate, but it is the least played map because the playstyle on Tal'Darim Altar doesn't really match the current maps like Antigua Shipyards, Coolhall Compounds, Ohana, Cloud Kingdom, where Zergs can easily take and defend a third base. This is a map that was created by Dustin Browder back in the dark ages when three bases was bad, and it was all about the two base timing. But many Zergs like going on an early third base because the One Rax Expo has been so popular. But Everize is going to be going with a Reaper opening. It's probably going to be a Reaper expand. This is back when Queens have 3 range, so a little bit old, just I think 8 days old. So, yeah, Queens will have 3 range, not the 5 range, so Reapers can still do quite a bit of damage. The SCV is going to come up here. It does not get spotted yet by that one hatch, I think, so he is going to be coming down and building a bunker, and this is so hard to deal with, but I think maybe it did get spotted, or Sheth knows the timing and saw that the SCV did leave because the drones are, nope, the drones are just going to transfer. See this SCV, perfect timing for Sheth right now. The SCV is going to be booking it on out of there. And Everize did check this base first and then went all the way over here, so this wasn't the first base Everize went to. If it was, this bunker may have been up and that Reaper would have done extreme amount of damage. You can see him moving out now, but the bunker does get canceled, so it's not going to get up and the Reaper won't be able to do all that much damage. We do have the command center behind this and also getting a factory on that tech lab, a reactor building on the barracks. So I'm curious what he's going to be going into. I'm assuming these are going to swap positions, and he's going to open up with Hellions possibly, because this one Reaper can't really do a good contain on Sheth because the bunker didn't go up. He's kind of got to transition awkwardly into that Hellion contain and just slow himself down a little bit. The Reaper can do what it can. It did force a lot of Lings out of Sheth. That is 10 Lings that Sheth did build in response to that Reaper, but this isn't really all that bad. On Tal'Darim Altar, these 10 Lings will be able to take out the rocks, so Sheth can take a third base relatively quickly. We do have a Baneling's Nest going down for Sheth, so it looks like he is going to retaliate with a Baneling Bust. I don't think these are going to be defensive Banelings, and he hasn't really scouted anything to tell him that it's going to be like a Marine SCV all-in where you want those Banelings. So I'm assuming Sheth is going to be putting on the pressure. We'll see if he ends up getting a lair after this. That speed for the Lings is about halfway done. The Reaper is just poking around, hasn't made his way into the main base, which is a little bit surprising, not getting any scouting whatsoever. Doesn't know if speed is on the way. He doesn't know if Sheth did like a speedling opener or not, if his drones are still mining gas. If he saw this drone still mining gas and that Baneling's Nest, he's going to know, oh my god, there's going to be a lot of Banelings incoming. We do have 2 Hellions on the way. Sheth doesn't have any scouting information just yet. That Reaper does get surrounded just before speed does finish by those Lings. So Everize isn't even going to know that, but the 2 Hellions on this one watchtower maybe seeing the Ling speed pop. They're going to be chasing after them, and oh, this could be bad. That could take Everize by. Big surprise. Lings are going to come and almost get us down on those two Hellions. More Lings are coming in, and now Everize sees all these Lings and sees how active they were on the map, knowing that, oh, you don't want to take a third base. You want to put on some pressure, so Everize should be getting a bunker up relatively soon because he now knows Sheth is playing a little bit aggressive. And a Roach Horn is starting at the 7:30 minute mark, and Sheth could have built a lair. So I'm going to be saying this is a Roach, Bane, Ling all-in, just because, well, he could have started a lair then, decided not to. His lair is going to be extremely late. He's getting a Spine Crawler at his natural, which leaves me a little bit confused. And maybe that is just to throw Everize off if he does go up, sees a Spine Crawler, sees Lings, and be like, oh, everything is normal. But if everything was normal, Sheth would be using these Lings to take out these rocks right now because he'd have intentions of taking a third base. That one Overlord does go down, turns Sheth's supply upside down just before the Roach one pops. He has 4 supply, can build... Oh, he had 6 supply, so he could build 4 roaches. Oh, I had 8. Can't do math right now. Oh, well, forgive me. We have Hellions moving on out now by Everize, and that is a lot of Hellions following this Reaper opening, which means tanks are going to be really delayed. If Sheth sees all these Hellions, then he's going to know, oh man, this Roach Baneling all-in may do a lot of damage. You're not going to have too much defense with all these Hellions. Starport is on the way, so he will be getting Medivacs, it looks like. It is on a reactor. Hellions, I don't know what they were doing, maybe just checking for a third base. And again, I don't think Everize has really seen those roaches, seen anything from Sheth, but just seeing Sheth not try to take out these rocks is probably enough to know this was an all-in coming. We do have the roaches moving across the middle of the map. The Hellion on the washout will be going off. Everize does have a bunker up, should be getting another one. If those Hellions are going to be coming in, they will see a lot of Lings momentarily. Sheth doing a great job at keeping this hidden right now. And maybe they waited a little bit too long. They will be arriving at the same time as the roaches, but these Hellions going to be able to do some damage, and those Lings, it's still going to take them a while to morph into Banelings. Maybe he's not going to use Banelings. I assume he will, but now the roaches are just waiting, and this is allowing Medivacs to come out. Does he have any out yet? No, he doesn't. And now Banelings are morphing in. This is not what you want. You want to hit before the Medivacs with these Banelings, and he's going to be missing this timing just slightly. Mistiming those Lings right now. Those roaches now coming. And Everize did take out a handful of Lings on the way over here, but this is a lot of Banelings. They don't have speed. Everize does have Stim and Medivac, so he is going to be kiting these Banelings right now. Doesn't have all that many units, but does have a wall up. Those SCVs are going to be running away, getting in a bunker. That is cute, and now starting to spread his SCVs. But Lings are coming to clean up those SCVs, and now Everize does poke outside of his wall, going to try to pick off a few Banelings. And the supply depot is down, does not go up. He's got to deal with these roaches and Banelings now. Putting units in the medevac, that must have been a mistake. But some beautiful target firing goes down. Everize takes out every single Baneling. SCVs have been pulled off the line right now to deal with this. Has a handful of units. Sheth building more and more Lings. These are not drones behind this. That is more Lings, and now Sheth is going to get a few Lings out. A few drones out, I should say. And he is working on his lair. Lings taking out this one gas. The gas will be going down, but it looks like Everize does defend. 57 to 58 supply, 271. Sheth killed 25 workers there, but he is only ahead by 9. He is getting a macro hatch right now. If he had this macro hatch ahead of time, I would say this would be working out great for him. But since he doesn't, Everize may be able to catch up in the workers, or at least not get too far behind in the workers. And he is building a bunker behind this, just in case Baneling Phase 2 came to try to take out these supply depots. You can see this one very close to falling, but Sheth gonna be backing off. These Lings are going back home. Maybe he'll finally decide to take out those destructible rocks. And I'm actually surprised how much damage that did to Everize. I don't think he picked up on the rocks not being taken out, and Sheth showing no signs of wanting a third base. And the Queen's gonna be injecting, and maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe Zergs don't really want to take out those rocks as soon as possible. That's just something I generally see from Sheth. If he wants to take a base, if he has idle Lings, he's going to be taking out rocks with them, just opening up the field. It's always a good idea to use Lings when they're idle to take out these rocks, because it can take a while. He has the minerals right now to build a third base, but because the rocks are up, he can't get the third base, just delaying that ever so slightly. The lair is done. And we have Baneling Speed, no Infestation Pit, nothing of that sort. Oh, what is this? Spine Crawler. Just getting a Spine Crawler back here to deal with drops. And the third base, gonna be built almost as soon as those rocks went down, so if he took them out earlier, he would already be on that third base. Supply is even 89 to 86 right now, with Everize actually in the lead. 56 drones to 32 SCVs. This one Overlord looks like it will be taken out of the sky, but Sheth still way ahead in the supply with 100 out of 134. He is going to be taking a double expand, taking both of these bases at the same exact time. Ling's going to be coming in and just poking around. This one medevac is coming out, will be spotted by the Lings. Look at Sheth's vision with these Lings scattered around the map. And this one Overlord right here. Drops are not going to be taken by supply. Scouts the drop once, will scout it yet again, and probably even a third time. Now these Marines just picking out Lings and actually kill 3 Lings. And drop is coming and doesn't get scouted by this one Ling. This Overlord is moving. And actually that Overlord speed may be hurting Sheth, as the medevac is now going to be dodging all other scouting for him. So Sheth, the question is, did he see the medevac when it was going across those Lings? He does have 4 Lings with the spine here, so I'm assuming he is ready for it. Another drop is coming down, sees this one base. Gonna be dropping a few units, and Sheth pulling all his Lings, has them all on 5, and now deciding, oh my, I have to split some off. He was doing a drop, and he did catch wind of this. It looks like it maybe was just pulling him back, and sees one Marauder right now, but dealing with the drop down here. This one hatch looks like it will be living. Drop gonna be coming over here, but there are 4 Lings and that spine call. These drops getting shut down so well by Sheth. Marauder and a Marine do survive. Sheth not sending any more units right now to deal with that. This medevac is Jay-Z chaining between the natural and the main base. More Lings coming out to deal with this Marauder and Marine at this one natural. And Everize sending out more units. May try to snipe this one base. And Sheth has Lings here to deal with those Marines and Marauders. 1-1 upgrades all around. Sheth has started fungal growth, getting Burrow working on 2-2. Everize working on 2-2 as well. Everize does have a handful of tanks back at home. 4 tanks just sieged up, defending against any run-bys. Ling's coming over here. That one Overlord goes down. I don't know what these guys are doing. They can't engage this, so I mean, silly Lings. This hatch is actually almost dead. This drop going to be getting cleaned up by Sheth. But he is going to be losing this one base, and that's not the biggest deal because this was a double expand. At least he keeps this one base, and Sheth doesn't have enough drones to saturate all 4 bases yet. His main still mining pretty heavily, and we do have a counterattack by Sheth going off. Does get fended off by a handful of Marines protecting this third base. Everybody's doing a great job at keeping himself protected, and I have no clue what those 2 SCVs are thinking. And that is a little bit odd by those SCVs. More Marines are going to be coming up to this third base. Does get a stamp. Plenty of Lings here, and this is not going to be able to do damage. Everize has to be careful now, as Infestors are going to be popping. Sheth going for a Hive right now as well. Relatively fast Hive, considering that Sheth went for that Roach Baneling aggression early on, delaying his build so much. The Hive starting only like 9 minutes after that lair. Infestors are now out. Does have Burrows, so he's going to be making his way over to Everize base. He's going to be trying to do a little bit of harassment. Everize has some nice defense up, but those Infested Tanners or Phone Ghosts can be such a pain to deal with. And yes, he is moving out with 4 Infestors. It is the hit squad moving out, actually 6. Missed out the 2 lazy Infestors way behind. Not leaving any Infestors back at home to deal with drops, trying to do some type of damage and hoping that Everize doesn't have a missile turret up, because that could be bad news for all these Infestors that are coming out. But it looks like Sheth is going to be mounting on an attack. Does have 3-3 on the way with Adrenal Glands and an Ultralisk Cavern. Those Marines do meet those Lings. Infestors do unburrow. Going to get a huge full growth off on all those Marines, but they do fall back into that tank line. And Sheth's going to be losing a lot of Infestors, but those tanks do not target them. Infestors remain alive, only losing 2 right there, I think. Do get away, shoot off Infested Tanners, do finish off one of those tanks. Marines now stimming ahead, and he may try to throw a scan to kill off another Infestor, but look, and yes, he does. Scan goes down. 1 Infestor will be falling. Will the second one? He's going to have to use another scan, but if he does, he could take out more Infestors. Sheth shooting off Infested Tanners to try to slow down these Marines. Another scan goes down, picks off all 3 of those Infestors, and now medevacs come. Allow me healing up. Those Marines going to take out those Infested Tanners, and a Creep Tumor get on away. We do have double medevacs back here waiting to do a drop. And Sheth's going to be taking this 4th base yet again. He is going up on Ultra Play. And I don't know if this is going to be too beneficial because Sheth isn't really that far ahead on upgrades. As I always say, Ultralisks only seem to work well when you're ahead on upgrades, and Marines only do like 1 or 2 damage. But when the opponent is even upgrades and can deal like 3 damage per shot to your Ultras, they go down relatively quickly and generally not worth it. Drone, no drone transfer over. No, there is a drone transfer. My bad. I thought I saw it, but then I didn't see it, and well, we saw it. Big drone transfer coming down to this 4th base. His main is mined out, so that is where the drones did come from. Everize now gearing up, going to be putting those tanks on this high ground, and going to be taking out this 4th base yet again. But Sheth does have another base going up, so these drones will probably just run immediately over to this base and be happy about that. Link's trying to put on a little bit of counter pressure. I think Sheth may know this is happening. No, I don't think he has any idea. Well, maybe he does now that the Overlord saw some units. Tanks are going to be sieging up right now. And going to the workers killed so far, it is 27 for Sheth, 2 for Everize, doing a drop right here, another drop right over here. So aggression at 3 spots at once. The main has been cleaned up. This hatch does get killed, not denied, and this hatch will be taken on out. Everize doing a lot of damage right here. Sheth has to be everywhere at once. Marines are going to be taking out these links. Nope, Medevac does pick up. There is another drop coming over into this main. Medevac does lift up 8 Marines, and now he's going to be attacking this 3rd base while doing drops at both sides with these Marines. It looks like Link sitting underneath this one Medevac does snipe the Ultralist cabinet, and that is relatively big. 2 Ultras on the way. Sheth immediately going to be rebuilding it. Now another drop coming over into the main. This 3rd base is being dropped as well. Everize is just doing aggression absolutely everywhere. Sheth, though, only losing 2 workers so far since the last time I checked. Doing a great job at dealing with it. Only lost 2 bases and an Ultralist cabinet. I say only. That is a big loss. And now this one gas going down. Everize tugging the gas because he knows this gas is crucial to Sheth. He wants that to build Infestors and Ultras. And now it looks like all the drop aggression has been cleaned up. But Everize, I'd say that was successful. It delayed Sheth, allows Everize to take a 4th base, which he didn't do behind all this. Does have a lot banked up, but he is maxed out at 200 supply. Does put Sheth down to 150. And whenever you're maxed out as Terran and your opponent isn't, that is a very good sign. Everize's 3-3 is just... No, it did just literally finish as it was saying that. He does have +2 vehicle weapons on the way for those tanks. And Sheth in a little bit of a sticky situation right now. Does have a birdling, a ling right here, and an Overlord spewing creep. So he does not want this base to be taken. 2 Overlords over here just spewing the creep. Everize does have a handful of units, not all that many in those dropships, but it looks like he will be gearing up to do another dropping and snipe the Ultra Cav, the Baneling's Nest, and Roach One. Doesn't have to worry about this. These 3, either of these would be great to snipe. Mainly the Ultralist Cav, then the Spawning Pool, then the Baneling's Nest. Probably in that order. Infestation Pit, it is over here, so yep, the Infestation Pit will be actually the highest priority, I would say. Spire is on the way. So Sheth will be transitioning into Broodlords. Tanks are going to be sieging up. And that does kind of give Sheth the way to go and attack because Everize sieges up this position, hoping that Sheth attacks him. But Sheth's like, well, you're only protecting this area right here. I can just go straight down the middle right now. And if my units are right here, that will force you to pull back. And now that's when Sheth is going to come in to attack. Big Baneling hits go off right there. And it looks like Sheth easily going to be able to clean up Everize's force right now. But Everize doing another drop. Sheth throwing all his units. The 4th base is going to be taken out. And now a drop in the main is going to come. What is he targeting? First going to be going for that spool. But there is an Infestor back here with Lings. Does clean up that drop. But again, the 4th base did get taken out. Marines right here going to be picking off this one spine. Kohler sees the timing of this Greater Spire. That is big. Going to be starting to do damage on it. Marines over here dying to these Lings and Ultras. Everize is again absolutely everywhere. But again, not killing that many workers. Killed, I think, 3 workers in that drop attempt. So it hasn't killed all that many. Did do damage to the Greater Spire, which is good. If you can snipe that, that will be absolutely fantastic. We do have a drone now going to be trying to take this base as well, but there is a Marine there saying, nope, can't do it. Drone will be going down. 2 dropships are falling back. This one is on the brink of death at 6 HP. Marine chooses not to stim, allows the drone to survive, and now Everize will be taking that 5th base over there. Medevac still just chilling above that Greater Spire, not doing any drops, doesn't have any units. And I hate when players do that just because I always think, oh my god, there's a drop going down. Nope. Chuck Testa. Anyways, We do have Ling's going to be taking out that one Marine on the Watchtower. Sheth's going to be regaining the map control because he did lose it when Everize did like that multi-pronged job. I want to say he was doing like 4 things at once right there and just pulled Sheth absolutely everywhere. Had taken map control, but now Sheth going to be taking it back after cleaning up this force. And Sheth again trying to go for a counterattack, force Everize to acknowledge the counterattack, and that's when Sheth attacks Everize's force because Everize, when he's mobile, his force isn't nearly as strong. So Sheth tries to make him mobile and tries to catch round and guard by doing things like these counterattacks and then just turning back and ambushing Everize's forces. But Sheth not really mining all that much this medevac, gonna be pulling on back. This is his only mining base. Everize, well, he's got 2 mining bases right now, so he should be ahead on income. Worker tab does show 52 drones to 66 SCVs, so Everize way ahead right now. Also banking 1,200 2K. Sheth not even maxed out, so Sheth has to do damage and actually just steamroll Everize because Everize will be able to reproduce his army relatively quickly. A lot of infestors with max energy. Those Marines doing relatively good splits and pulling back into the Marines where Sheth does not want to engage. And we'll see what Everize ends up doing. This one medevac going to be making its way safely back to Everize's army, taking one of the oddest paths I've ever seen. And here we go, another base is going to be taken. There is yet another command center going to be lifting off and going to probably maybe this base. Yep, this base right over here. This base, again, can easily get taken out by tanks, but when Everize is in this position, that does allow Sheth to go in for this attack, so you always have to keep that in mind. When tanks are sieging up on this base, saying, oh, how many tanks do I have back at home? Can I now still defend Ultras? Everize, though, is moving out on this position, which is good because he's taking these bases as well and wants to snipe this one base. So now he does a drop right here, has units right here. So now Sheth is going to come in and deal with this, which is going to allow Everize to come up here, siege up his tanks in this area, and now those Ultras, Lings, and everything is trapped. If he can manage to get that position, that will be amazing. There he goes, sieging up the tanks, saying, nope, you're going to be trapped in this one small area. Meanwhile, Infested Terrans going to be coming down, but that is a PF. Those Infestors did not really get any kills. Everize a little bit slow to the contain, but this does allow him to take that one hatch out. Beautiful play by Everize right there, getting those tanks in that position. And pulling Sheth's units down here to take that position, saying, nope, can't counterattack me. And when you come back, you're going to take damage, as I have a lockdown this area and get sniped in one base. So Sheth forced to stay on 4 bases. Everize now moving on up. Going to be taking out Sheth's 3rd base relatively soon. Brute Lords are out, but look how quickly those are going down. Ultras and Infestors are coming in, shoots off a lot of Infested Terrans. Tanks again, not really tugging. Nope, they are tugging those Infestors this time. So many Infestors do fall. Sheth will clean up this force. Supply goes about even, but you got to keep in mind how much Everize has banked. 4K, 3K. But he doesn't have that many barracks. He is producing 8 Marines, 5 Marauders, 2 tanks at a time. Should be at like 4 factories and like a cajillion barracks. He is now just starting a barracks, but this is a huge mistake by Everize. Doesn't really have many barracks. I guess 9? That's not really that many. And you can see, as I said, he needed more factories. Getting 2 more right now, along with the 1 barracks. I would get a few more barracks when you have this much banked up and you know your opponent's only mining off of 1 base, essentially, because this base... Oh, no, he is mining off 2 bases. This base still has about 3 minutes left in the game. Sheth's going to be trying to take this 1 base yet again, but Everize has proven this to be very difficult to hold. Taking out these rocks in this base will be much easier to hold for Sheth. However, defending this base means he is going to be really vulnerable up in this main base. So that's the one thing you have to keep in mind. Marauders are going to come down, pick off those Infestors. That's pretty cute when you have vision of the high ground and the Visitor can detect on the high ground. Mule's mining at that 1 base. And this is the most risky base, as this base is a PF. So Sheth Everize wants to mine this base out as soon as possible. So if Sheth ever gets this, it doesn't bother Everize one bit. And now Sheth at 179 supply. Everize is back at 200. And it looks like he is going to be moving out with Marauder Marine going into this unit tab. We do see 25 Marauders, 28 Marines, 4 tanks, 8 Vikings. So mainly just bio play out of Everize to deal with these Lings and Festers. And few Broodlords, not that many, just one out on the map right now. That Terran building on him now just finishing, which will help his PF survive against any Ling run-bys and those things. More Mules mining that one base out very quickly. Scan does go down, sees these Broodlords moving, so he knows there's going to be a few more. Does have 8 Vikings. I don't know exactly where those Vikings are. He does have them out somewhere. Okay, all the way back at home. Gonna be getting more barracks, still just slowly. Okay, now he's doing what I suggested. He's getting 9 barracks. This is essentially doubling his production supply of bio units back when I said it the last time. So think how quickly Everize could have been maxed out after that last fight if he had double the capability of production. He'd be maxed out and Sheth would be very dead right now. But because he didn't ramp up his production, it allowed Sheth to get back in this game and re-max out. Also Sheth mining off both of these bases. Everize has to do something about them. He is gearing up to do a drop. Tank slowly moving because he wants to take this position yet again. If Sheth ever comes, pulls his units to deal with the drop over here. Everize really wants to clamp down on the position right here. And a drop does go down. Lings are pulled to deal with it. And the bios are going to have to be getting away. Everize, though, going to be going in. Sees Sheth units right here. Not going to be clamping on this position. Instead, going to be going over for other bases. Does see a base right here. Going to be doing a drop on this one hatch. That looks like it is a very dead hatch. Does have a lot of bio. Infested Terrans yet again over here. That is a PF. And Sheth killed 30 workers, so it doesn't look like he's killed all that many. Drop does kill the one hatch. Sheth has some units right here. Everize doing a little bit of drop play over at this 4th base. And that is a lot of Infested Terrans coming out. And that will deal with that one drop relatively easily. And Everize pulling back. Going to try to defend at the PF. The tanks are going to get caught out of position. And now the sim goes down. He's going to try to pick off all those Lings. And tanks actually survived. 3 of them do live. Actually, all 4 lived. Didn't kill a single tank right there. Now the Vikings are picking off these Broodlords very quickly. And it only takes 2 volleys for all of those to pick off a Broodlord. And there we go. No broods for Sheth, and that is a huge loss. Also, you can see these Ultras have seen better days. A lot of them have been injured. Drop no longer happening. Still has the few units over here. There is one Infestor right here with 21 HP. Everize is maxed out still, getting more command centers. 5 more commands on the way. So he's going to start sacrificing SCVs, it looks like, to get an even bigger army. Or maybe building PFs. Because this one command center is definitely in a PF situation. And if he gets like 3 PFs right here, then this would all be Everize land. Drop is going to be dealt with by those Lings. And we'll see what Everize does do behind that. One Ling just burned on this high ground. No clue why he's there. That PF has had 17 Infested Terran kills. And now Everize looks like he wants to be moving out yet again. And Sheth with a little bit of Operation Overlord. I don't know what he's doing moving all those. Maybe trying to fake a big drop. No idea what Sheth's goal is. Sheth's going to be going for a counterattack. Keep in mind, this does have building armor, so that's going to live a little bit longer. Everize does take out Sheth's 4th base, I guess you could call this. And all these command centers can morph into PFs at any time. And once they do that, I don't think Sheth can actually kill all these PFs. So if Everize just kills all the economy, which is just this one base left, then Everize is going to be going for that win. But he isn't morphing those into PFs. A lot of these Mirages are injured. Phone Growth is going to go down. Sheth looks like he will be able to clean up this one force. But at what cost? Sheth's production is crippled. All these tanks sieging up. Lings go down very quickly to those tanks at +3 attack. Marauders coming in and will have to be retreating. Sheth does hold on. Bunch of Overlords over here, but again, what's the purpose of them? I don't know. Medevac still just hanging out by Everize. And 130 supply to 200. Everize is still maxed out. And does have a lot of barracks and a lot of orbital commands morphing. These are not going to be PFs. They will be orbitals. This one SCV looks like he just decided to quit and left the job half done. Or a quarter of the way done. Everize moving out with just mainly Marauders and tanks. No Broodlords though in sight, so Everize is going to be just fine. And the Marauders are going to stim up, and now Sheth can no longer counterattack because Everize is going to just contain him in this one area. and slowly push his way in to Sheth's last mining base right over here. Job going to come down here to take out this Spine Crawler. This will kill off Sheth's gas income. Also going to be taking out the Greatest Fire. Sheth pulling his way down here. The tanks, again, do have this beautiful little contain. And Fez is now making the way to the battle, but it's a little bit too late. Sheth lost so many units, and everything is going down. Sheth building Lings, but Everize building 10 Marauders at a time and 9 Marines. Greatest Fire does fall, which means these Vikings are no longer needed. They can just go land and do harassment over at this base if they wanted to. There's literally zero use for them. Sheth not going to be rebuilding a Spire because, well, he can't even afford to really build units. Lings are going to come here, see this one base mining all the SCVs, going to be running away. Overlord's coming in here, faking out the big Baneling bombs, I guess. Everize just chilling, and now they are spewing creep. Vikings are going to be landing. Looks like they will be used for harassment. And Sheth going to be taking out this one mining base of Everize. And now has a few Lings here. Going to be taking out this base as well. This base doesn't really have that many minerals left, so we're going to have both players not really mining. But Everize still has 2k in the bank. Going to clean up those Ultralisks, these Roaches, and Infestitarians. And now Sheth's army, 6 Infestors, 64 Lings. That is not that good of an army. Everize building nothing but Marauders. If he just built Marines at this point, he would be in excellent shape. Infestors are going to burn, but look at their energy. It's not much. And sees the tanks unsieging. And it looks like he's just going to shoot up Infestors now as the tanks do siege up. Medevacs do lift up. He is going to be sacrificing these tanks, knowing that he can't save them. And now this base will be falling, but Everize has a lot of bio to back this up. Sheth going to be losing yet another base. Everize drops are just demolishing Sheth right now. I don't even know if that was a drop. Those units may have just walked the way on over to that base. Both players mining off of essentially what is one base, but Everize again has that huge bank. This one command center could actually burn to the ground. That would be relatively interesting. 20 SCVs to 25 drones, going to kill count 74 to 36. Lings are coming out to deal with this small group of units, and Sheth doing an excellent job at holding on, but again, 55 supply to 176 supply. And Everize lifts off this command center. The Overlord's like, nope, can't take that base. Can't land it anymore. But this is literally Sheth's last hope. Once this base goes down, he doesn't even have enough minerals to rebuild a hatch. That is how broke Sheth is right now. A few Marines are going to be coming up, and this is just too much. And Sheth says the GG. Extremely well played by Everize. This game was extremely impressive. I think like the highlight of that game was this move right here. What is it? I don't know where that was. Maybe it's right here. Right around this time. It was when he sieged up the tanks. That was beautiful. So no, this is a drop. So while all that's going on, I'll watch that in the... while I'm talking about SC2 gears. How's that? How's that for multitasking? Boom. So let's go to 8 p.m. because I really want to see Everize's 73 macro, 173 micro. Not bad actually. 180 EAPM. And keep in mind, this is Everize's very first real-time strategy game, according to his stream thread on Team Liquid. So he's got pretty good for being a newbie at StarCraft on release or during the beta. Whenever he joined, very good player. Not something you'd expect out of NA. Going to the main building control. Sheth. 10 minutes. 7.7 seconds. Not bad. Not the best. Not bad. Let's see. Does he have a tumor? We can look at builds tech. Filter actions. Spawn. Creep. List that. Yes, he does do 2 tumors. So, let's see. How many queens does he build up here? Train. Queen. 3 queens. So, does build an extra queen. Not exactly sure if that was his mistake on injects or just because he used a tumor a little early. So let's go over into Everize's macro. This is what I really want to see. I really don't like the fact that he didn't ramp up his production. That was a huge misstep. And let's see. We have a lot of areas to look at for Everize's game right now, for at least his Marine production. So let's actually do Train Marine and Train Marauder. Oh, how do I do ands? Marine and Marauder. So actually, take a break really quick from that. We're going into the game again. And this is going to be the spot I wanted to talk about, I think. This looks like it. So go back. Okay. So this was a really high-level decision by Everize right now. So he's going to be coming in with this medevac. Going to be doing a drop. Has his units here right now. Sheth is going to be coming in. Everize a little bit too slow. If he didn't back up right there, he could have sieged tanks in this area and prevented these units from even moving on out. But lifts up the drop. Now getting his tanks over here. And what does this do? Well, this means that he can slowly push his way in, take control of this area, which allows him to take out this base. Also, if Sheth wants to counterattack, he's got to go all the way up here, around here, all the way down here, and he's got to go do that huge loop around, which gives Everize enough time to snipe this one base and get back and deal with the counterattack. This was such a nice play by Everize. I think it deserved a second watch. So now, takes out that one base. And because he has all this siege position, there's nothing Sheth can do about it. He just has to give up that base. And now just going to be slowly pushing his way into the third. Great, great push by Everize right there. But let's go back into SC2 gears. Hopefully it wasn't like that the whole time. Oh man. My apologies if it was. Ugh. That'll suck. Anyways. XSplit goof up. You'll forgive me, right? Do I start with an and? Oh, or. Or. I'm an idiot. There we go. Actually, that doesn't seem to be working. I don't see Marauders there. Maybe I misspelled Marauder. That's most likely the case. M-A-R-A-U. I have UA. Juxtaposed those two characters. Here we go. There's Everize's macro. And this is what you guys really wanted to see. Let's see. Let's look at points of the game. Let's go around 1739 quickly. 18 minutes. That's close enough. So 18 minutes right now. You're looking, hopefully. You can see nothing happening. Like nothing building wise. And it's been like this for a while. So what we're going to do, go into this and see what's happening during that game. Or that portion of the game. So it should be back on that. There we go. Doing a drop right here. And just keep an eye on the production. It's slowly gonna stop. As Everize does a drop up here. And I think this is the last batch of Marines. Maybe. Stop building them. You're breaking SC2 gears, Everize. Okay. No? That was weird. Because this clearly shows a relatively big gap between this area. 33 minutes? Oh. It didn't save. Oh, that screwed the inject timer up as well. That's unfortunate. So let's just do real-time converter. In real time 17 to game time 24. So 24 minutes. I don't know why my SC2 Gears is refusing to save right now. I even manually clicked save this time. So this Everize is maxed out. As you can see, maxed out supply. So that is what that's about. Over here, the next one is going to be 2151 to game 3015. So go to 3015. So it looks like all these little gaps where Everize isn't building units is because that he has supply cap. So pretty good macro by Everize, not bad at all. So now let's go back to this main building control because I screwed that up when my SE2 Gears did. I even re-downloaded it. That's how much of a pain it's been. 7.7. Actually, let's go back to this timer. In game time, 10 minutes to real time. That's 7:13. $7:13. 7 seconds inject gap, so it didn't change it too much. Hopefully you guys enjoy the cast. So again, I'll definitely take a look at SE2 Gears because that should have saved the settings last time. I literally clicked on the save button. Peace out. See you tomorrow.